Alright, Shalom. Giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Makakudash. Just watching this video. This is DJ Vlad and Jamel Hill. She's responding or reacting to the statements that Akon made about so-called black people in America, mainly. Basically getting over slavery, or just letting it go or whatever. So I'm gonna play some of the clips, and then I'm just get a couple scriptures and just speak on what they're talking about, because she's gonna make some points about basically today, and this is part we say niggas gotta go and actually study. I remember when I was growing up, I learned about Emancipation Proclamation, and yeah, you do kind of just think that, okay, yeah, that just made you free, okay, all niggas just, you can just leave the plantation. First off, it ain't even happen like that. I think everybody was, especially in the South, okay, it took them a little bit longer to actually let the slaves go or whatever. So yeah, you gotta go and look, you gotta go and research, man. And then when I first found out, okay, Emancipation Proclamation, blah 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 blah, look it up, research it, you look up the word, it don't mean somebody is free. It just means a transfer of property from private, to the system, to the government. So she basically points out that Akon, which, he made a statement and it kind of came off the wrong way. We should just forget it. He didn't say, just forget about it like that. But I think what he was trying to say is that we already know America ain't gonna cut us no check or whatever. So you got to just suck it up and literally just like move on from it. Which I guess in a way is kind of like saying forget about it, but it's a part two. Why you got to forget about it? Because you already know these devils ain't gonna give you a check. Now, he didn't say devils, but, we supposed to know that about Esau. But anyway, she makes a good point that you're very much still in slavery. So it's not like, to come back against what Akon said. If we was actually past slavery, then yeah, we would have to move past it. But we were just emancipated, We were just transferred over to the government, which now everybody is a slave, So, and you got different levels of slaves. With slave, servant, same thing, okay? In our law, we can have our own, amongst Israel, we can have servants. But you can't treat them like you would treat, like, a servant or a slave of another nation. You can't do that. So you got Edomites who are slaves. They got birth certificates, social security numbers, but they don't get blown away by Jake. And if they do, they're restored. Eye for an eye. Okay, well, it's not necessarily eye for an eye, but you did this to Esau family. This Edomite cop did that. So, okay, we're going to swift justice. Okay, we're going to restore him. We're going to blah, 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 blah. When it happens to Jake, because we're different levels of slaves, man. Different levels of servants. So we're still slaves. He said, forget about slavery. How you going to forget about something that's still going on? So, yeah, she made a great point about the monuments and things like that, which, Esau, he can tear down all the monuments and the idols. That's really what they are. And the statues and everything. He can do all that he wants to. He's still going to go into slavery, He can write a check, which he's not going to do. But even if he did that, he's still going to go into slavery. So, yeah, I'm going to just let this play and then speak on it from time to time. Let me see. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for reposting this. Let me make sure it's still recording. Yep.
Because he was saying how in Senegal there's really not a focus on slavery the way there is here. And by having that on your back, he feels that Black Americans can't progress as much as they can, because they always are referencing that as well.
I think it's also the art of just letting the past go and moving towards the future. And I think in the US, they have this stigma of just not letting go of the past and blaming the past on every mishap or, disappointment. And I think as long as you hold on to that past, it's just a lot of weight that you carry with you everywhere you go. And it's hard to move forward and move fast when you got a weight on your back. Right. You just got to let it go.
A lot of people got upset over this. I don't know if this hits your radar.
Which, he said that or whatever. It's hard to move forward or move fast, when you got a weight on your back. Well, who put that weight there, And the weight is not us saying, oh, we're never going to forget slavery. The weight is the conditions. Still being 3/5 of a human on the books. All right? Still being at the level that we are in that society. Just because you got Akon, just because you got Jay-Z and LeBron, and like I said it before, you can name how many niggas that was able to make it in this man society. You can name them. You can count them all. You can't even begin to count the lower, I'm talking about lower, lesser luminaries who are wealthier than the top people among our people. There's people that you never heard of that just live normal lives that got more money than LeBron, who are Edomites, and other nations. But regular ass Edomites, I'm talking about like they're wealthy, all right? They might not be famous. You got a lot of that. You can't begin to name them all because you can't find them. So that weight. Matter of fact, let me just get one scripture real quick. That weight is not going to go away. Even if we just say, okay, we just, ain't no nigga really still thinking about slavery like that. Damn near all niggas in California, Portland, all niggas in the West Coast, I know this from personal experience, they don't know shit about slavery. They don't know a Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Harriet Tubman. They don't know nobody, Those niggas over there, they just in a whole nother mindset. So when you really check it out, Jake ain't really talking about slavery like that. Yeah, you had a group, the American descendants of slavery, but I mean, where did that really go? This is Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." So either way, and Akon's going to be destroyed. But either way, even if we did just move on, let's just move on. First off, we under the curses. Secondly, if, okay, you move on from slavery, whatever, blah, 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 and you don't have this truth, you're still going to be destroyed because you ain't departed spiritually. Because it's polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. That's what's going to happen. And it's not just Babylon. It's this man's system everywhere, literally everywhere. His influence, his reach has gone global. All right, so let me continue.
Well, I understand why they got upset. Here's the thing about the legacy of slavery. And I don't think that it's that Black people have an inability to get over it. It's that the legacy is so deep that it's still existing in America.
Yeah.
We're in 2020 and we're talking about another Black man, not a Black man, not a singular incident, but just another Black man being executed on the street. And when you look at the dynamics of race, they're still very much in place from when there was slavery. I mean, certainly Black people have been able to make some gains. And to say we're fixated on slavery presumes that most of us have.
Which, by the way, when you go to prison, all right, not jail. I've been to jail. When you go to prison, you are a slave. You are a slave. So even Jamel Hill, even though she's speaking against him, she, in many senses don't know what the hell she's talking about. What do you mean when there was slavery? There is slavery. Let's just get the see, I mean, it's gonna pull right up. Shit better not be in Japanese. Come on now. Yeah, I know I can't read all that. But yeah, they're very much, slavery does still exist. Let me look at this shit, man. Oh boy. No, giving no money. Now it says, and we all know this, or should. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution abolished slavery and involuntary servitude. So, no, Kanye West, slavery wasn't a choice. It says involuntary, Show me a nigga alive today, Show me a nigga at any point in history of God's green earth that would say, yeah, Mr. White Man, you can take my kids, take my son, you can pop him and you can pop my wife, and yeah, I'm gonna pick your cotton, and I'm gonna do all that for free, and when you're done with me, you can just hang me and whip me, and then I'm gonna give my body to you. That never happened. It says in involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime. Now, basically, that's plain English. Slavery is abolished unless you commit a crime. Now, you know what? According to the laws of the Most High, you can have multiple wives, right? You go and get multiple wives if you want to. Esau gonna say, that's a crime. I'm gonna make you a slave. So slavery exists. All them niggas that's in the prison, and you got a lot of Jakes that went to jail that didn't commit crimes. That is a real thing. Excuse me, not jail, prison. Jail is more like holding you in ward. Prison, like, okay, here's your sentence. You doing 15 to life, whatever. 25 to life. You got a lot of Jakes that ended up in that predicament because of the curses that we under, that never actually committed the crimes that they was charged or convicted for. It happens all the time. All the time. Plenty of times getting hemmed up in Mexico, California, for stuff that you don't do, So Esau can still, at any point in time, he deems that you committed a crime, like, oh, you got 2 wives? I'm going to make you a slave. So, they talking about, slavery, when we was in that time of slavery. Yeah, we're not in chattel slavery, It's not obvious to the naked eye that you're in slavery. The best slave is the slave that don't know he a slave. But we very much are still in the time of slavery. We were just emancipated. Matter of fact, it's going to turn out long or whatever, but let me just get the word emancipated. Oh no, to emancipate. Etymology. proclamation to proclaim. All right, a decree. This was a decree of emancipation. Now let's go to the etymology. Because anytime they want to talk about so-called slavery being over, they go right to that. What was it? 1886? Whatever. I don't even... That bullshit. Emancipate. Set free from control, from Latin. Emancipatus. Past participle, blah, 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 blah. Edo. I'm tripping. I'm speaking Japanese shit. Let's see. To deliver, to transfer, or to sell. That's it. X, out or away. Emancipate, deliver, transfer, or sell. That's what happened. In Roman law, this is Rome all over again. This is Rome all over again. In Roman law, the freeing of a son or wife from the legal authority of the paterfamilias. Now, that's an Edomite, if I ever heard. You're gonna free somebody's son and his wife from his rule. But that's Esau for you. Esau, if you discipline your children, he will take your children. He will emancipate them. And the kids are going to be like, yes, I'm free. But then they're going to go to that foster home and get popped. So we were emancipated. That's all. That's why hey, look, and that in itself also proves that that's another reason why Esau ain't gonna give you no reparations, because the slaves, they were property. They had names and whatnot, but there was no social security number. There was no this the way to track him, the birth certificate. When we were emancipated, they started to track you. So that's why Esau still to this day, well, how can you prove that you're the Israelites? You don't have the records? Just like how they did when it was the Romans. All right. The destruction of records came through Esau again in Babylon, which is property. I'll just put them niggas on that plantation and make them breed each other, which, yeah, we ain't supposed to like count ourselves like that, but you can have a record. Oh, I'm such and such, son of such and such, son of such and such. So he ain't gonna give you no check, because he gonna say, well, how do you actually know that you're a descendant of slaves? And that's a devil for you, man. That's a devil. That's what he gonna do.
Not been able to push ahead and be productive despite having the cloud of racism hang over us at every turn. It hasn't been like that. Black people have always exerted their will as much as they can to get out of their circumstances. But the reason the country cannot move past slavery is because we've lied so much about it and we've whitewashed it, and we don't even teach what really happened in slavery. I made this point recently because I got into, I guess if you want to call it hot water, over some comments I made comparing America to Nazi Germany, which I assume you were going to ask me about.
Yep.
But
which America in no way, shape, or form compares to Nazi Germany. All right. So I can understand what you was trying to do. Maybe you trying to appeal to the so-called Jew, saying, oh, all this turmoil that we're dealing with in America, it feels like the same that was going on with the Holocaust. That's going to make so-called Jew feel like, oh, yeah, they understand our struggle because we really went through it in the Holocaust, which they fucking didn't. It doesn't compare at all. Those rats had their own movie theaters, okay? They had their own shit over there, Furthermore, Hitler was a so-called Jew. So, come on.
the thing that is when you go to Germany, you don't see statues of Nazis. Okay, when you're in America, there are 800 Confederate monuments. These are people who were traitors. Many of them were slave owners. John Lewis.
And this is something that Akon didn't even think about, you know, because, matter of fact, let me get that, man. You know what? I'm gonna just go right to it. I ain't gonna look it up where I'm at. James 5:1, it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered. The rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days." It says, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth." And really, you know, we know that this is speaking against the elite among Esau. But Akon, Tracy Morgan, I seen the apostle said that he drove by the other day. The so-called noble men, the noble people of our people, you know, they got their consolation, you know. So they ain't thinking about Jake, man. You know how much you could, man, you know, they're not thinking about Jake. So when he said that, hey, let's just move past it, man. Just get over slavery. Because he ain't feeling it like that, man. He's rich. Tracy Morgan, who is a E-lister, all right, he's not even popular like that, but he rich, you know. So they don't even consider. They talk about, yo, let's move past slavery, because they're still slaves, but they're slaves with a status. House niggas, you know, pretty much. Steffens, friend Steven.
Icon, civil rights hero. He got his head cracked open on the Edmund Pettus Bridge for marching for equality. Mm-hmm. Do people even know who Edmund Pettus is? He was the leader of the Alabama Ku Klux Klan. There's a bridge named after him.
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
John Lewis is dead, but the Edmund Pettus Bridge is still very much alive. And so that's the problem with America.
So you hey man, and this is where you start to get mad, because this is why the scripture says he is not in trouble like other men. Because the so-called Jew, Edomites in general, but the so-called Jew, they push this how can you say, this trigger word, this word that just makes you react, anti-Semitism. She is literally explaining how we live in a country where there's statues and roads and monuments and buildings and bridges named after people who bought us and sold us and traded us, that were funded, you know, them slave ships was owned and funded by so-called Jews. Facts. This is why we say, and you get mad when you think about this, because like this whole Black Lives Matter BLM bullshit, this ain't shit. This ain't scratching the surface, man. This ain't scratching the surface. I live in Japan, and I've been to Hiroshima. Ain't no monument for Edomites over there. Oh, this is the great American, you know. Oh, this is the American soldier that actually pressed the button to open the bottom of the plane and the bomb came. That don't exist. Like she said, though, you got Ulysses S. Grant. You got Stonewall Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, the Indian killer, Benjamin Franklin's, okay? All these so-called great men, your founding forefathers, all right? They were in that life. They was about that life, man. Nobody on the planet has faced and gone through what we've gone through. And just to get a little social media movement, which so-called Jews got the same movement. That whole hate speech, anti-defamation league, all right, and anti-Semitism bullshit, that's like the same shit as Black Lives Matter. But they ain't even go through 1/64th of what we did, man. How does 4 years compare to 400 years? And it's longer than 400 years. They didn't even go through 1/100th of what we did, man. But they're up there on the same level, if not like higher than us with this whole social media shit. We get Black Lives Matter, they got reparations. We get Black Lives Matter, they own Hollywood. We get Black Lives Matter, they own the music industry. We get Black Lives Matter, ain't Adam Silver a fucking so-called Jew? David Stern, that waterhead Edomite that passed, they so-called Jews, if I'm not mistaken. So-called Jews run the sports industry, man. So this is a huge slap in the face, man. And you know what? It's even more slap in the face because they know who they did it to. They know exactly who they did it to. So, I mean, and she said it's over 800 in America. Ain't no telling how many is in the islands, how many is down in South America. You got a big ass white Jesus in what is that, Brazil? You know, which that could easily just be Christopher Columbus. Easily. I would say this again, what we have gone through and what we still, this situation that we still in, nobody on the planet has gone through it. Why? Because them curses was for the Israelites. Period.
Is that we have never confronted slavery, our racial past, in any real way. The Germans apologized. We've gotten a little bit of acknowledgement here and there, but
I don't even think there's a. Let me see, man. Let me ask Google. I don't even feel like correcting that. So let me just type it in. Wow. Yo. Wow. Wow. 12 years ago. That's spiritual. That's 12 years ago. On July 30th, 2008, the United States House of Representatives passed a resolution apologizing for American slavery and subsequent, meaning after slavery. So what the hell is Akon talking about? Acorn. What is this nigga talking about? Subsequent, after slavery, quote unquote, but we still in slavery, and subsequent discriminatory laws. There have been, now it's 50 states, right? There have been 9 states that have officially apologized for their involvement in the enslavement of Africans, which are Israelites. 5 times this week, Barack Obama. Yeah, they talking about when he went to Hiroshima, which they sent a so-called black man to go do that. This is crazy. This is crazy. An apology don't mean shit, man. You know? You might apologize to your woman because she went through your phone and you done she found out you was with another woman, which ain't nothing wrong with that. You apologize. She crying and shit. Back of your mind, you like, I'm doing it again. What you mean? Or just any example. Some shit you sorry. You know, you apologize. You defended your actions. You defended yourself or whatever. But that's it. That's just, this man ain't sorry.
In there, but no real comprehensive apology and restitution for what was done.
Right, because the Germans paid reparations.
And you know what? You know why there was no real restitution that was done? Because the restitution is coming when Yahweh Shai arises with healing in his wings. Now I said the word healing. That's going to take me right to Jeremiah 51. Real quick. This is Jeremiah 51 and 51 and 8. Matter of fact, I'm going to start from 7. Matter of fact, I'm going to start from 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Now, this right here, this ain't talking about ancient Babylon. Because ancient Babylon took the kingdom of Judah. This new Babylon took both kingdoms, Judah and Israel. The Lord's vengeance is not just for Judah. You know, it's for both kingdoms. It's for the nation. So this is talking about this time. This is talking about America. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon have been a golden cup. All right, was that Revelation 18? Have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, which America did that. Democracy, their philosophies. The nations have drunk. Which nations drunk of ancient Babylon's wine? The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but Babylon is not going to be healed. But she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies. Now let me get that real quick, man. There was no real restoration because, first off, if Esau restored you by way of a check, you just gonna give that money right back to him. You know, you gonna give it right back to him faster than he gave it to you. It ain't gonna take you 400 years to spend all that money. So Babylon is prophesied to go down. He ain't gonna give you no check. That check that he give you and that you gonna give right back to him, that will keep him afloat a little bit longer. Let's say he just made some money out thin air and gave it to you niggas. You gonna give it right back. Plus interest. He gonna make it back. There was no real restoration because the restoration comes with Revelation 13, 9, 10. Alright? But Yahweh Shai, he's gonna first arise with healing in his wings. Let me get that. This is Malachi. Let me see. Matter of fact, I'm going to start from 1. For behold, Malachi 4 and 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, Esau, and the wicked amongst our people, the other nations as well, shall be stubble. And the day that the Salaki. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord. So we gotta first be healed. You know? You think about it. Let's just, take, America's favorite scenario. Some white woman. She's a rape victim. Edomite woman, rape victim. She been getting raped for 30 years. Beat up, punched in the face, spit on. You write her a check after 30 years. Here's $1 billion. Is she gonna be healed? Is she gonna be healed? She might take that money and buy all the drugs she can and just kill herself. So we got to be healed. That includes these bodies that we got, this brain that we got. We got to be healed first, and that's going to take place when he returns. And then once we're healed, that's when the restoration begins, where we're restored. And I'm going to get that as well. Revelation 13, 9 and 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience. Let me get that word. It should be from Passion, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, but I might be mistaken. Yeah, it's not from Passion. Maybe that's in the Latin or something. Steadfastness, constancy, endurance. In the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. Now, Akon made the statement, in a nutshell, niggas, let's just get over it because this white man ain't gonna give us no money. Does that mean, let me cut my beard off. This motherfucker Vlad said restoration for all African Americans should be a free college education. Nigga, you know how many niggas got college education that's broke? Master's degree, doctorate degree, whatever, PhD, whatever, all them shits that's dead broke. He said, "Oh yeah, I went to UC Berkeley or whatever school he went to. I got into businesses and you were Edomite. You are not in trouble like other men. You are a so-called white man. You can do that. Plenty of our people have gone through Esau's full system. That don't save us. Shit, I think Philando Castile, the one that got killed in front of his woman, he had a degree. And it wasn't free. So all you saying is, just go to school for free and then get killed when you graduate. Or then don't get hired. Or then still fail. You know what, man? Hold on. I'm deviating. This man said reparations should be a free college education. Oh, man. This is Deuteronomy 28. Oh, boy. Let me see where I want to get it from. Deuteronomy 28. And, let me go down. Shit, you can literally start from anywhere. Deuteronomy 28 and 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. Hey, you go to the city college to get your little free reparation college education. It's in the city. And cursed shalt thou be in the field. You go in the countryside, your little college education for free because you were descendant of slavery. You still gonna be cursed. Okay? You have kids while you in college getting that free education from reparations. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. If you got a free college education, maybe some financial aid came with that. You can got your little house. All right. Cursed gonna be the fruit of your land, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Now, let's just say we was here for however much longer, which it ain't gonna be too much longer. You having kids and shit. Then you eventually come back through reincarnation. But you still getting that free college education because reparations, right? Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, when you born, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. How many Jakes got rich and died broke? And the cold thing about it is they wasn't born rich. They was cursed when they came in, fought all the way up, got up in Esau's bullshit, and went fucking broke, and then died because of these curses. Let me get the one that I really want, because that one, it just sums it all up, man. You won't be able to do shit. It don't matter what kind of reparations they so-called plan to give you, which they ain't gonna give you. Where's the one? Not that one. It's the one where he said, basically he was gonna curse everything that we set our hands to do. Literally. Everything. Let me see. I might have passed it. Fuck. Then I'm gonna jump back to the video after I get this. All that God said is thine hand to do. I definitely had to pass it. Okay, let me type it in. Nah, I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah. Deuteronomy 20. I knew I passed it. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing. So it don't matter, man. It don't matter. It don't matter what. Hey, them jakes that got money, they had to get bent over. They had to pop kids. Do whatever they had to do. That's a curse. To be able to sustain yourself, to have enough money for you and your family, you got to go do some wickedness like that. Abraham ain't have to do that. Jacob ain't have to do that. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all thou settest thine hand unto for to do. You want to get that little college reparation education, something gonna happen to you. COVID. Now the schools are shut down. A Edomite come shoot your school up. Something gonna happen. Let me get this word cursing, man. Let me get this word. This word in the Hebrew, I'm gonna let the devil say it.
Strong's H 3994.
Mara'ah.
Me'era. Me'era.
Ma'ara. Cursing. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it from here. To curse. Cursed be he. And that's what the Lord did. To lay under a curse. Put a curse on. To be made a curse. Be cursed. I want to see if there's something deep on here. to cause or produce a curse. Hold on. A kind of enchanters who were supposed to render days unfortunate. You know? Your days just gonna be unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. And that's pretty much the story of our history for the longest time so far. You know? So it don't matter what this devil Vlad talking about, you know, free education and blah 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 blah. Give me a break, man. Let me get this one scripture before I go back to this dumbass video. Revelation 13, 9 and 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. You know, that's part of the restoration. This is also part of the restoration. I said I was going to get this. Let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah 60 and... Let me start from 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee, meaning they're going to serve us. You know, you might have a nigga that read that, you know, we're going to have heathens. They're going to minister to us. They're going to teach us from the pulpit. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Let me get this word real quick, and then I'm going to jump back to the video. Chayal.
Strong's H2428. Chayil. Chayil.
Chayil. Chayal. Strength, might, efficiency, wealth. Wealth. The wealth of the Gentiles, because it's ours anyways, you know. They're going to have to pay. They're going to have to pay a percentage. But they're going to love to do it. And they're going to thank the Most High for that. So that's real reparations and restoration. To be restored. Being back. Store, we know what store means, man. Restore. Okay? Restore meaning it's going to put us back in the state that we were in. Restore. And really, you can't think of a time period that we was in that's going to be likened unto the time period that we're coming in the kingdom. Because even during the time of King David, you know, King David was ruling. King David committed adultery with, you know, his brother's woman. There was still sin. So even though he had a great kingdom, it was still sin. So we're going to be brought to a level that we ain't never been on this earth yet, actually. So let's go back. So ain't going to be no reparations, man. Ever. Not, at least not from Esau.
Jews
Exactly.
and financed Israel.
Yes.
A lot of people think America gave reparations to Jews. They didn't, but they did support reparations. Or maybe early this year, I said something to the effect of, right. And you know, by using what I learned in that school, I was able to apply it to different businesses.
Yeah, he said
I got to
he want reparations to be
your people got
free college education.
Cash, and we only get a college education.
Oh, they didn't think it was enough.
Possibly in the form of a free college education. A lot of people got it. Maybe early this year, I said something to the effect of, I support reparations for African Americans, possibly in the form of a free college education. A lot of people got upset.
So basically, and this is the mindset of this fucking devil. Okay? But sometimes you get mad, but you can't even get mad because they're Edomites. You know, they don't deal with justice and judgment. They're not fair. They want to talk about it's not fair because God hates them. You know, they're not fair. They're the wicked. They will agree with reparations on their terms. If we say, okay, you know, right now, you know, if you just come to my house and be my slave and, you know, I can whoop you to death and your daughters, I'm going to be able to take them and do whatever I want with them, blah, 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 blah. You know, all this and that. They ain't going to get with that. He said, oh, yeah, I support reparations in the form of free college education. So even if all so-called African Americans got $10,000, you know, if you didn't support that, then you ain't supporting reparations. If it doesn't fit to what you think we're worth, all we're worth to these devils, because if he thinks it, you know, these upper devils think it too. If all we're worth is a free college education, what the hell is a free college education going to do to us in the so-called white man's school system, where he going to teach us bullshit? You know, he ain't gonna teach the scriptures. If we all got a free college education, let's say we wanted to go into religion and whatnot, deal with the scriptures while we're getting that free college education, we gonna come out like vocab Malone. We ain't gonna know the scriptures. You know, so you gotta. This is Esau. This is just Esau though. If it's on his terms and it sound good to him, he cool with it. This is why Edomites ain't accepting that they going into slavery. They ain't cool with that. They ain't accepting that Yahushua is a so-called black man. They ain't cool with that. They ain't accepting that the Most High is a so-called black man. They ain't cool with that. They ain't accepting that the so-called Jew is not a Jew. He's a joke. They not accepting that. But you know what? Matter of fact, I keep making it longer and longer. Because the Lord didn't say, you know, I'm going to come back and do this if you're okay with it. Jeremiah 49:12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup, us, have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Esau. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. That's what's going to happen. The Lord ain't say, you know, I'm going to pour out my fury and the wrath of the Most High upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel if Esau is okay with it, if it's cool with him. If it's cool with you, you know, I'm going to let my people come and take you down into slavery. And if the Lord, and say the Most High actually did ask Esau that, Esau going to be like, well, I can't really agree with that. That's kind of a hard pill to swallow. You got any other options? So the Lord ain't say, if you support this happening, I'm going to do this. No. He said, thou shalt surely drink it. You're going to drink it. Double. When you go into Revelation, you're going to drink double. So it's over for you, Mr. White Man.
No, your people got cash and we only get a college education.
Oh, they didn't think it was enough.
Right. And
Okay.
you know, what had happened was, because my thinking was, look, I got a college education. I went to UC Berkeley, of course, of my life. And, you know, $1 trillion check. It's not that America can't cut a check for reparations. It's a time.
Full apology and undoing of many of the mistakes that were made as we have tried to rectify slavery, be it the monuments that are up that are owed to slave owners, a consensus across the board, you know, real apology to African Americans, and of course the rectifying of systems. Like, we have to be able to rectify the fact that the criminal justice system has just become the new slavery for African Americans. That needs to be dealt with. But on top of, from a structure,
I mean, that's pretty much the point, man. That's the video. You know, I just wanted to speak on it. And Yeah, that's Esau for you though. That's Esau for you, and that's also the mind state of Jake. You know, I'll just give her reparations and look. Money right now in this lifetime. Yeah, you give me a stimulus check. I ain't gonna be no idiot. I'll take the shit. But if you ask me, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you $50 trillion, but you gotta be an Edomite. What? No, it's not gonna work like that, man. So you got some Jakes that just wanna they still wanna be under this man. As long as they can just get by, then they cool, you know? And that's why the scriptures let me see. The scriptures say it poses this question. Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? He's a servant of the Lord. Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled, man? And we're spoiled. We're spoiled. To the point that, matter of fact, I want to close on this one, man, because I think I heard the elder out there in London. He went into this word real quick. Let me see if I can get it. If it's not the right word, then I might got to go back later and try to find it. Let me see. Which one do I want? Okay. This word worship, I believe. Let me go check it out. Oh yeah, it should be it. Proskuneo.
Strong's G 4352. Proskuneo. Proskuneo.
Proskuneo. Look at that. This is the state of our people right here. Like a dog licking his master's hand. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. They know that, and the scriptures tell you that we fled where we shall be fed. We had a place prepared for us where we're going to be fed. So they know what time it is, man. They know what time it is on this physical level. They don't know what's going on. They don't know that the Lord is taking this place out, and he's causing a global shift. Change sometimes comes with violence. Life comes with a violent act. You think about a man with a woman. That's painful for the woman. But luckily for her, she was designed to be able to enjoy that, because the Lord knows that these bitches are sick, man. Sick creatures. They love pain or whatever. But yeah, man, a shift is coming. Second Esdras, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this right here, proskuneo. This is the mindset of Jake. Most Jakes, man, even polite. Okay, all these Jakes that want to talk about, oh yeah, Grandmaster J with the no fuck around crew. They know what time it is. They know they can only go so far in this man's system. All right, polite is not trying to. Polite will not bite the hand that feeds him. It says to kiss the hand. In token of reverence, fear. Among the Orientals, which we would be considered Orientals, especially the Persians, to fall upon the knees and touch the ground with the forehead as an expression of profound reverence. That is the mindset of the majority of our people. They just want to get along to get by. They don't want to have this man in slavery. So many times people really like, but why we got to put him in slavery, huh? So even if they did, do the whole reparation thing, which they're not going to do, that's just like right now. If the Lord just said, all right, I'm gathering all niggas and putting you in the land of Israel, niggas will be having shootouts, all right? Drive-by shootings. It will still be adultery. We will be fucked up, you know? It takes a lot to unbreak a Negro. It takes a lot. We've been broken. So that's why the Lord said he's going to arise with healing in his wings. And then, only then, we're going to get true reparations, true restoration, true life. So that's it, man. You know, don't expect shit from Esau. Shalom.